What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Cam ATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for joining me as always for another week of NFL football. All right, this is the Week 4 first look lineup. As you guys know, beginning of the week, I like to go on, give you guys a first look lineup, kind of just like a gut lineup, sold off of what I know so far. Not a whole bunch of research put into it because as the week goes on, more and more research is put in, and things change, people miss, blah, yada yada yada. So in this first look lineup, we're gonna set this entire lineup together, kind of go over why we like the guys that we're talking about that we put in the lineup. And then later on in the week, I do a final look. If you're new to the channel, I do a final look where I'll go position by position and talk about all of the players we're interested in. All right? Kind of broaden the player pool. In this first video, though, we're going to talk about who we're putting in the lineup. All right? So, without further ado, now I will do this. As you guys know, I've been doing the $100 giveaway for anybody who can get the player and his fantasy points correct, the highest scoring player and his fantasy points correct, down in the comment section. What I'm going to do is, nobody got it right last week. A few people got close, but nobody got it right on last week. So we're going to do it again here. Now, anybody who gets it on the first look lineup vid early in the week, like anybody who can guess who the highest point total scorer on DraftKings and what their point total will be down in the comment section before the final look video comes correctly, will be able to get $150. All right? Now, if that doesn't happen, you can wait. If you want to just wait and get more information before you make the guess and do it on the final look video, you can do it there. Do it there anyways, and you'll get $100 if you get it right. All right. So for anybody who gets it right early in the week on this first look lineup vid, whoever can guess that point total down in the early will get $150. All right. But if you want to just wait, you can go ahead and guess it on the final look video, or you can just do it on the. It doesn't matter. Whoever gets the highest total. If you do it early in the week, you get 150. If you do it later in the week, you get 100. All right? Now, let's get straight into it. Starting off at quarterback, the way that I'm thinking I want to go this week is going to be Matthew Stafford. Now, Detroit's a team that doesn't love to run the ball a ton. They throw it historically a ton anyway. They're at home in a dome, which you guys know I love taking quarterbacks with their receivers in domes. This game should be a game where Detroit should be behind. Stafford has done very well against New Orleans throughout his career. Historically, he's only had one game under 20 DraftKings points, and that was back in Week 7 of 2014. Outside of that, he's gotten over 20 DraftKings points in every single time against them. All right. So far this year, Tom Brady dropped almost 23. Derek Carr almost got 23. Aaron Rodgers got 24. New Orleans just gives up 20-plus DraftKings points, and I'll take that at 5-9 here out of Stafford in a game where Detroit should be behind and at home in Detroit. Matthew Stafford is a solid option right there. Another guy that I really debated with at quarterback is going to be, and I'm going to go ahead and just tell you, is going to be Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick's only 5'4", in a game where Miami should absolutely be getting dominated by Seattle. The question here is, okay, now this is a perfect situation. Fitzpatrick to Devontae Parker, I think they're going to connect a ton. And that's what my gut was on previously, and then the more I looked, I was like, you know what? I feel like Stafford paired with the guy I'm going to talk about is a little bit better here, at least for safety-wise. But either way, Fitzpatrick in a game where they should be behind big time going against Seattle, facing Seattle's defense, who will probably be without one of their better defenders. What was his name? The safety, Adams, Jamal Adams. They're probably going to be without him Week 4. So they were already banged up badly. Now take Adams out. Fitzpatrick is a fantastic play here from behind. At 5'4", he's a great option. So it was between Stafford and Fitzpatrick. You can really offset either one of these and put the guy with his quarterback too. So Fitzpatrick, you want to pair with Devontae Parker. Stafford, you'll want to pair him with who I talk about in a little bit. Now, at running back, my top running back on the board. Now, if Michael Thomas misses, it's Alvin Kamara, and it's no question about it. You lock Alvin Kamara in, and you don't even consider not doing it, okay? I think Michael Thomas comes back for Week 4, so that brings Kamara down a little bit, okay? He's not going to be the Kamara we've seen the last few weeks. But if Michael Thomas misses, let me reiterate, if Michael Thomas misses, Alvin Kamara is my favorite player on the entire slate, and he needs to be locked. Now, with the idea that Michael Thomas is back, I love Dalvin Cook here. Dalvin Cook's a guy who's an absolute workhorse, is going to get a ton of carries. He's going to get a solid amount of carries, and now going against Houston, Houston is bottom in the league at rushing yards allowed per rush. They've just been getting gashed. Edwards-Helaire, the rookie, gashed him for 23 DraftKings points. Mark Ingram, on a Baltimore team where he doesn't get a ton of touches because they split it with like 20 guys, got 16. James Conner got 28 last week. Dalvin Cook is about to smash at 7'6". Love Dalvin Cook. I think he's going to absolutely dominate Houston on the ground. Absolutely love him. Now, at running back 2 and in the flex, there's a couple cheaper guys that I really like. I'm going to start off with Devin Singletary. All right, Devin Singletary is the way I like to start it out because at the end of the day, Las Vegas is bottom in the league against the run, okay? Even worse than the Rams are. The Rams, he still got 16 DraftKings points against the Rams, got some decent targets in the pass game, got 13 carries on the ground. I expect to get more of that. I think Buffalo should be able to get ahead here and stay ahead. Even though Las Vegas is a solid team, they've been playing pretty well this year. Buffalo's been fantastic. And I just think Devin Singletary is going to get a good amount of run here in this one going against Las Vegas. So I really, really love Devin Singletary at 5'9". There's a few guys around that price range. Another guy that I don't have in the, you know what, let's go ahead and talk about the flex one real quick. The next guy that I love is Henderson. All right, we're going to go Darrell Henderson Jr. here. Now, you got to understand the situation here, man. The Rams are 13-point favorites right now against the Giants. This is going to be one of the most lopsided games of the season so far. Benny Snell, when James Conner left week 1, got 15 DraftKings points. All right. Jeff Wilson Jr. last week for San Francisco got 22 DraftKings points. Darrell Henderson has been great, 20 and 22 the last 2 weeks. Absolutely love this kid. I think he's a very, very solid option. Expect 20-plus carries here in a blowout game going against the Giants. Pay attention to whether Cam Akers is going to play or not because that will hinder Darrell Henderson a bit. If Cam Akers plays, that'll affect him a little bit, so keep an eye on that. Now, another guy that you can go, if you don't want to go Singletary or whatever, there's another guy that I really, really like that's right there on my radar as a guy who I like, and that's going to be Mike Davis. The main reason being is because Mike Davis has been getting ridiculous targets in the pass game. He's been getting Christian McCaffrey targets. Now, he doesn't get the carries. McCaffrey normally will get 20, 25 carries. But he's getting 8 and 9 targets the last 2 games. 8 targets against Tampa Bay, 9 targets against the Chargers. He is getting solid targets here. And on DraftKings in a PPR setting, Mike Davis is a fantastic option. So really, you can switch these guys around. It doesn't matter. All 3 of these guys can all be played around. All right, so you can go Mike Davis. You know what? I'll stick with Mike Davis solely off what he can do PPR. But Henderson and Mike Davis and Singletary. Those are my 3 favorite guys in that 5 to 6K range. Really, really love those guys, and I'll definitely want exposure to a few of them. All right, and I'm going to keep Mike solely on his pass-catching ability on DraftKings. All right? Now, and Carolina should be behind against Arizona. So it's just a fantastic spot there. All right, next up, let's go ahead and talk receiver. First and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about who we're pairing with Stafford. And that guy that I'm going to lean on is going to be Marvin Jones Jr. Now, the last few years, New Orleans has done an extremely good job against number ones. Okay, they've done a very solid job against number 1 receivers. To put it in perspective for you, Mike Evans only got 7 week 1. Ruggs only got 1, but he's a rookie, only got 2. Scantling only got 2. So it's not like they've played like super great receivers the last 2 weeks. But holding Mike Evans really well in check week 1 was a good sign. And like I said, they've just done a very good job against ones the last few years. Now against 2s, they have not had such success, all right? They struggle against 2s. You see what Lazard just did last week against New Orleans. 30 DraftKings points damn near. All right, Marvin Jones is in a fantastic option. Like I said, I think Jones is the guy who has a big game here, but either one could honestly. And if you in GPP, if you want to go both receivers and then run back Kamara if Thomas is out and just get a piece of this game, completely understand. It's in a dome. There's going to be some offense here. So I like Stafford paired with Jones because, like I said, New Orleans historically will give it up to twos and threes and stuff like that. All right. Now, another guy that I really like here is going to be Odell Beckham. Now, I struggle with Beckham because he's very up and down now. He's not that superstar that we saw in a while back, but he's still an amazing talent. We know what he's capable of. And at the end of the day, he's getting the targets on this offense. Still not a ton of targets, though. He got 10 targets week 1, which was great. And then 6 targets against Cincinnati, 6 targets against Washington. But both games they were up and they won, okay? Now, this game, I'm expecting Cleveland to be underdogs, all right? In a dome in Dallas that just gave up over 40 to Tyler Lockett, gave up over 20 to Robert Woods. I think Odell Beckham is in a fantastic option. I'm going to call it now. Odell Beckham or Jarvis Landry. One of those two are going to have a big game. And if I had to put my money on one of them, I'd say Odell Beckham's the one who's going to have a big game here in a dome, playing catch-up against Dallas's horrible secondary. All right, last but not least, I talked about loving Fitz, and I absolutely love this guy, Devontae Parker, man. Now, at the end of last year, if you remember, Fitzpatrick and Parker were connecting like magicians. It was just beautiful. I don't know what connecting like magicians means. I just winged it. Okay, I don't have a script I read off of. But anyway, Devontae Parker and him were just ridiculous at the end of last year. And I expect that to kind of build as the season goes on once again. Devontae Parker gets the privilege of going against Seattle, like I said, without Jamal Adams, who's their best defender. Okay, Seattle's defense has already been just getting absolutely carved up. I don't even have to look. Julio, 27. Edelman, 29. Cooper, 18. Like, they've just been giving it up. Seattle's going to be up by 1,000,000 points here in this game. Miami's going to have to be throwing the entire game. This script is beautiful for Fitzmagic paired up with Parker. It's going to be huge here. I really love this. In GPPs especially, I really love the pairing of Fitzpatrick and Devontae Parker, man. I really love it. And in this first look lineup, if you want to switch Stafford to Fitzpatrick, completely understand it, and you want to just go that route, that's completely fine. Okay? All right. Tight end. Same situation as we've pretty much been going the entire lineup, is just opportunity here, man. You've got Saquon Barkley out. You've got Shepard out. You've got guys missing from this Giants offense. They need somebody to step up. Expect Daniel Jones to really start relying heavily on his tight end. This situation is amazing because they're huge underdogs against the Rams. Like I said, 13-point underdogs. That's why we like Henderson, because we do expect the Rams to get up and do a shit ton of running. So Henderson should see 20 to 25 carries on the ground. On the other end, New York is going to be having to throw a lot to try to keep up in this game. And Evan Ingram has not had a huge game so far this year. He did get the 8 targets, 6 catches, 65 yards against Chicago week 2. But outside of that, he has not showed up. I expect him to show up here in this one against a Rams defense that gave up almost 19 to Croft last week. I think Evan Ingram in a huge down game at only 4-4, the type of usage that he should get in this situation is incredible. So I love Evan Ingram. Fire him up at tight end at 4-4. And then last but not least, my absolute favorite defense, is not even close, is the Rams defense against the Giants. At the end of the day, the Rams defense is going to absolutely destroy Daniel Jones in this Giants offense. This Giants offense is going to struggle badly right now. No Saquon, they're just struggling. And this Rams defense has some really guys on that defensive line that love to get to that quarterback. So I think Jones is going to have a rough time here in this one. Very rough time. I think they're going to get a good amount of sacks. They're going to get some turnovers when Daniel Jones is trying to play catch up and throw the ball a ton. Evan Ingram's still going to get his. It doesn't mean anything. But, yeah, the Rams defense is absolutely solid. I love pairing them with Henderson this week because the way that Vegas sees this total, I also see this total, and I think it's going to be very lopsided. So I want Henderson on the Rams side, and I want the Rams defense as well because I think the Giants are going to absolutely suck this week. All right, and that's it. We got Stafford, or you can go Fitzpatrick so far in the first look. I love both of those guys in GPP. Dalvin Cook, favorite running back on the board if Michael Thomas plays. Mike Davis, solely on the fact that, as you know, we had previously, we had somebody else there. We ended up going Mike Davis because of his pass catching ability. Who was it that we had previously right there? It was Singletary. Devin Singletary, you can go there still. Arizona should be up, so maybe this is Kenyon Drake week. You know what I mean? But it's hard to tell. So really, Singletary, Davis, Kenyon Drake right there in that spot. I'm going to stick with Davis solely on how many passes he gets. 8 targets and 9 targets the last 2 games. Ridiculous targets. They are targeting him like they target McCaffrey, and that is huge. Marvin Jones to pair with Stafford. Odell Beckham Jr. in a behind game playing catch-up against Dallas' horrible secondary. Devontae Parker, if you go Fitz especially, pair him up. But either way, I think Devontae and Fitz are going to have a great game here, and I think Devontae is going to shine against Seattle's horrible secondary with Jamal Adams most likely out. Evan Ingram playing huge catch-up against the Rams. Henderson on the Rams side being up big. And then the Rams D while Giants are trying to catch up. Should be easy money. And that's it. That's the first look lineup. As you guys know, the first look lineup's kind of just gut, go over and kind of have fun with it. Build a lineup that I love first look, gut reaction of the slate. Get you guys started. That does not mean lock this in and put your life savings on it. Things change as the week goes on. So join me for the final look when we're going to break down position by position. Hit up greenlightdfs.com to join the squad before Thursday to get the showdown. Also get college football. We have yet to lose a college football week. We have been smashing college football all season so far. So you will get NFL members get college football on Saturdays. And then Sunday, man, let's get it. Week 4. Let's get it. Good luck, y'all. Let's get it. I'm out.